first thing is, see, machine learning is like there are many packages and plugins out there on the pub.dev. Along with that, if you want to do things or if you want your things to be done easily, then you can use Firebase, right? Firebase ML kit. And along with that, you will find a package on the pub.dev where you can integrate your machine learning stuff using Flutter.
Sir, let's say that I have created in Python a model, sir, machine learning model, which
Correct.
works, which creates. After I need to import the model, like import a model into Flutter, then which one do you recommend, sir?
Okay, so see, you might be. I'm giving you an example that for machine learning, you have write a model that that just what do we say, that just detect any objects, right? For example, you have written that. So now you need to write an API, which will send the data from Flutter to your Python, and Python will send some data to the Flutter, right? So you need to make a REST API call which will transfer the data from one to another. So there is no, there is no limitation that you cannot make your machine learning if you are not using Firebase or something like that. You just need to have a REST API call to interact with other programming language.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, again, sir, one more thing, sir. I have checked the study about AR code, sir. So AR code, we need to have Android Studio. Is it possible to use AR code in VS Code?
I don't think so. It is not possible to use in VS Code. VS Code is, a plain editor where you can write a programming language, but it is not as powerful as Android Studio. But
Android
yeah,
Studio, my lap will break if I download Android Studio. That's it.
yeah, because the Android Studio has their own advantage and it do many other things when we compare to the VS Code, right? So yeah.
Sir, but we generally for when we use VS Code, we normally download AVD emulator, right? AVD and this thing, and then from there only it creates a new emulator, right, sir, for us.
Yes, exactly. So right
So
now,
that
yeah.
so in AR code there's this AVD something, sir, some plugin was there to download. So if I run that, I should get it, no, sir, because AVD only controls everything.
Okay, I don't have more idea about that because I have never worked. But yeah, if Android Studio is not having any dependency and you will get a package differently, for example, you're saying something called AVD, but I would say AVD is nothing but your Android virtual device itself, right? That is your
Okay.
emulator. So yeah, there is no depend. If there is no dependency, then you can go ahead and use in VS Code.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
But
sir.
even VS Code has their own plugins market, so you can even search if you want any plugin over there. I will just show you.
Okay, sir. Because VS Code is lightweight compared to Android
Yeah,
Studio, so it's better if we use that. Then.
yes, exactly. I always
Hello,
use
sir.
that.
Uh,
Yes, Santosh.
I'm Santosh. Okay. I am trying to build a 3D model viewer where we can zoom in, rotate, and pan this thing by integration of Unity software.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that can be we can implement as a 3D product model viewer means if you upload a furniture model so that we can see the exact
Hmm.
how it look like. So like that I want to build. So any integration regarding or any widget regarding Unity?
Yes, yes. There are many plugins for. I will just share my screen. Just a second. You can have Unity as well as AR code in your Flutter app as well. There are many plugins available on pub.dev, right? So definitely you can go. I will just show you. There are many tutorials also available for that. Let me know if you can just see my
Ah,
screen.
yeah, I'm saying.
I even have got the questions. I'll just take it in few minutes. Okay, is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so right over here, if we'll just search, right? So there are many videos, right? You can see the AR core is implemented,
So I wanted to question.
even the Unity 3D is implemented. And if you'll go to the pub.dev, right, you will find so many kits over here. Now, how do you find which kit is best or which plugin is best? then you should see this popularity and how much points they got, how much likes they got, right? And of course, you should go ahead and check their code out, like what they have written over here, which they support and which they don't. So I have never tried all these things, to be frank, but there are many packages available. You can just go ahead and see. They have already kept one video showing some augmented reality, and this is purely written in Flutter as well. I was getting some question in between, but his voice was not not audible properly. Okay. What is AR code? No, Sunil, it's not. AR is the augmented reality. This is the one you can see. We can see some object in 3D, right? So that is what we call as an like augmented reality, where you will. The best example for that, I would say, a Pokemon Go game. You can, if you have just seen or played that game, then you will know what exactly augmented reality work. You will see the 3D objects. It is not no, it is not same like as QR code. Which programming language do you recommend for the backend? Either programming language or the framework. Uh, Recommendation, it totally depends on your requirement, right? If you want to build some project, and if things is going to happen easily with, for example, Python is going to do some stuff easily for you, then of course you should choose Python, right? And in the same way, if you compare, if Python is going to take something more time, consume more time, and then if Java is going to do that in a less time, then of course you should choose Java. So the thing is, you need to first understand what is your requirement, and then you should choose this stuff. For e-commerce type app, okay. So for e-commerce type app, if you want to build things from the scratch, right, then I would say you should choose NoSQL database, right? That is the best part. You can go with MongoDB, right? Or maybe Firebase. It totally depends on you. And you can use Node.js if you're using MongoDB. To be frank, I didn't had my haircut from the February, and my hairs are like not good. So I always keep I like keep wearing my cap whenever I come to the camera. And I don't have a good hairstyle as well. Bottom overflowed, where it is. On my page, yellow and black strips are showing, and opening a keyboard showing bottom overflowed. That's a good question actually, and that will happen whenever you open your keyboard. So that was like I was about to start my session, and let's start the session with that itself. So what happened? I'm sorry, like I have made my app forced my app to.
Hasnen, are you starting the session right now?
Shall I wait? If you will say, then I will really wait for you.
I mean, let's just wait for. We have around 44 participants right now. I don't know if anybody will actually come or not.
Yeah, Hassan,
Okay.
I think we'll just
I
wait
think
for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah,
We started
fine.
8:30. We started
Okay.
8:30. Yeah.
Yeah, we started 8:30. So sorry for the
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Sir, one more question regarding admin page
Yes.
and user page. So how we can deal
Okay.
with that thing? Means whatever will make
Admin page and the user page.
yes, all things will become in single app. Okay, while login, if I am admin, I will log in as an admin, and I will see some different UI for me, and for user page, if they will log
Okay.
in with us.
Got it.
You
Got it.
understand, right?
So yeah, see, I will show you a basic example for that. How you're going to deal with that? Okay. So for now, look at this. Look at this. Sign in with email. Okay.
Okay.
That is our login form dot right. Now, for example, all these four option, right? All these four option is only visible to an admin. I mean, three option: Facebook, Google, and sign in with email. But if you're a normal user, then you're going to only get one button that is called sign in with email, right? So you got what exactly all the three for admin and one for normal user. So for that, what we are going to do is, so for example, I'm going to make my this app stateless widget to a stateful widget, right?
Okay.
What I will do after that, I will call an init method. So whenever your app or your page get rendered, the first method which will get called is init state, right? So this will call init state method, and we are overriding it, right? Means we are accessing from this class. Okay, so we need to call the init state of this class as well. So what we will do, we will say super dot init state. Super means the parent class, and state is the parent class for our login form state, right? Now what I will do, from my database, I will check which type of user is this right now, whatever which type of user is logged in right now. So for instance, I'm going to create one variable called boolean, and that boolean is going to have something called user is admin, right? Now, on my init method, what I'm going to do, from my database, I'm going to check whether that user is admin or not. Let's say, for an example, if user is going to be a normal user, right? Not an admin. So what I will do, user is admin equals to false, right? Now my user admin is false, then only one button should be visible, that is sign in with email, not this two button. So what I will do, inside my build method, right? Whenever my page is going to get rendered, or whenever things are going to be drawn on my page, I will check right over here. I'm not on the correct page. Oh shit. Is it sign in with email? This is password. Oops. We are writing code in the different page. It is logrec. So right over here, I will do the same thing what we did, convert to a stateful widget, get access to the init state, copy and paste. Okay. So now this is our container, right? Now this container, sign in with email, will be there for both. So we should not take care of this, but really we should take care of this row, right? Which is holding Facebook and Google button. So what I will do, I will simply go ahead and use a ternary operator. If you are familiar with that, with ternary operator or not, I don't know, but I will really explain what it is. So I will use user is admin, right? So if user is admin, right, I will render my whole row. This means if user is admin, if it is true, then I will render my whole row, or else I'll go to the end of my row, right, where it is getting completed. It is completed right over here. And what I will do, I will just put a empty container, right? Now let's see. Oh, right over here, you can see when my user admin is false, I'm just getting a normal single button, right? Now you can see the UI is getting rendered totally different. Like you can control like this. Now I will just make it true. And of course I need to rebuild because init state only get called once. So now you can see right over here, I have only all the buttons. I'll make it false, right? And there we go. We don't have two buttons. So this is how you can simply access the thing. Now what ternary operator I used is, for example, user is admin, question mark, true, or else false. So what this do, if this is having a value as true, it will render this part, the middle part. But if this is having false, then it is going to render the last part. So this is the normal operator which we are using, and that's what I used over here. If you don't want to do that way, if you don't like doing this way, you can use an if condition as well, where most of the Flutter developers are not aware of those things, where we can use if conditions inside the children's as well. But there is a different way to do that. So now right over here, what I will do, if user is admin, I will put 3 dots and open my square bracket, and I will put all my UI of both expanded into this if condition. So can you see we have a if condition, and I put it right over here. Now I'm gonna make my admin true so that all the buttons should come. I'll just restart. Here we go. We have all the buttons, right? Even we can play right over here. If false, there is no button. True, we have all the buttons, right? So now today even you learn one more thing in this part, that you can actually write if inside the children, but make sure you cannot write if outside, like right over here you cannot write. You are allowed to write this if inside children, not in child. Whenever it comes to a child, you should use ternary operator, right? So I hope I answered your question, Santosh. So if I want to keep a piece of Python code in Flutter, can you just tell some good widgets for it, sir, without changing the code of Python? I guess there is no way to put a Python code inside a Flutter. There is only one way to do is write an API calls, right? But till now there is no way to put a Python code in Flutter. I mean, yeah, in between a Flutter. There is different libraries to call JS functions using that, but for Python, I don't think so. So,
Hasnen, can we
yes.
start officially? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's go to the page where we, okay, you can continue, sorry.
Yeah. So sorry for the late start, guys. Well, the reason was, we had some issues and stuff. Okay, so good evening and welcome to all of you who are present here for the third and final day of FlutterUp, conducted by HackClub VIT Chennai. I'm Pranay Pulpakra and I'll be the host for the evening. First things first, we're extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused regarding yesterday, because the fact that we changed our platforms, and well, that was because we had given the feedbacks, and that was not basically there was miscommunication amongst us, so we are extremely sorry about that. We really thank you for the patience you've shown. Also, for all the attendees, we have sent out personalized emails regarding the details of the proceedings of event 2, so please do check it out. Also, Hasnen has provided the codes on GitHub, so the link I think will be sent soon enough. So guys, please do check it out. Not only that, on our official YouTube channel, HackClub VIT Chennai, we have put up the details. Oh, sorry, we have put up the recordings for day 1 and day 2. So all of you guys, please do check it out as well. The link will be shown in the chat box. Now, guys, the certificates will be provided to all of you regardless of the issues that were caused yesterday. So please don't worry. And also the Discord channel link will be sent soon. So all of you guys can check it out, go there and, solve our problems and stuff like that. Please do check it out. Please story us at the @HackClub VITC on Instagram. That will be a great boost to all of us. Okay, now a Kahoot quiz will be taking place as well towards the end of the session. So hang back, stay tight, and go for the win. So now I would like to welcome back Hasnen. Yeah, I think you can take over the proceedings, right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much.
So, in case if you have not tried this part, which I was asking you yesterday to try by yourself, just putting 2 things in a row, I have done it for you and I have pushed that code on the GitHub. If you want, you can just go ahead and check it out, the loginrec.dart file. Oh, sorry, loginform.dart file, right? You will get the updated code. And in case if you don't know what I have done over here, then you can see over here, we implemented the same stuff right over here, and I used the same thing right over here as well. So after my text form fill get completed, I just used row because I want to put things into a horizontal way, right? So I want to use row. I have to use row, right? Inside that, I'm going to have 2 children. First is expanded and second is also expanded. So they both are taking equal width available on the screen, right? So they both are looking centered. Now, this expanded is having child as a container, which we created yesterday for sign in button. I just use the same button over here, right? And I just changed, I didn't change anything actually. I just changed the margin property, right? I just, instead of all, I made it only to give from left and right, sorry, right and top. Okay. And I used another expanded where I just removed the color of my container. I just made it to a transparent. So now if you just take a look, I'll just make it red, and you can see you have two equal looking buttons, but I have just made that button, forget password button, to a transparent color, so it doesn't feel that it's an actual button, right? So yeah, now there are different ways to do things, and it totally depends how you think and what makes you to like, you know, build this kind of UI. So this is just one way which I have used over here, but you can have your own ways as well for building this kind of UIs, right? So this is what we did till now, and today what we're going to do is this part. So right over here, we are going to build this screen, and let's try to build this screen. Okay, so I got a question that when you guys are opening a keyboard, you guys are getting a yellow strip and saying overflowed by some pixels, right? Now, the reason is that because by default, you will never get a scroll for your page, right? So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the height between this form and my quick B, that is landing page and form. I'm going to make a height of 190, right? A little bit more to 290 so that I'll get an error. So now you can see I got an error and saying bottom overflowed by 43 pixels. And that is because by default, you're not going to get a scroll, right? You need to say your Flutter widget or your Flutter build method that you should be in some scrollable widget, right? Now there are multiple scrollable widget, but among them, what is like the favorite which I use every time is single child scroll view, because I have only I have only one child which is going to get scrolled. So I will use single child scroll view. So I'll put my cursor on the padding. I'll use wrap with widget. And what I will do is single child. And I'm a bit lazy. I will use single child scroll view. So right over here, I'll just rebuild to just make sure that it is not going to give me an error again. If we have an error, then we are doing something wrong. So I just need to see what is causing this an error. It's so big, and if it's over 0, but not in. It's considered as an unknown. Okay. So right over here, I'm going to remove the padding. I guess we are getting this because of this padding, but definitely we can use this padding. Nope. Okay. Let me use this. Let me just go ahead and try this stuff, because maybe somewhere in tree we are using expanded, and that is the reason. Okay, I got it. I got it. It is because of the spacer which we are using. I just need to remove the spacer because now it is going to get scrolled right over here. Yeah. So unknowingly, we were using a spacer which is not required when you're going to have a scroll. So of course, you're going to get an error, because in a scroll, you're never going to have a spacer. Only in widget where there is no scroll, right? At that place you can use spacer, but over here you can't, because we have a scroll and spacer doesn't work with the scroll. So now I have elevation of 1. I will put elevation of 1. Then you can see I have actually an app bar right over here, and that is why you feel like my thing is getting cut over there. But because of my app bar, which I have made like transparent and having no elevation, that is why the things are getting behind of that app bar. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now the person who asked me a question, if I want a project, I don't know whether that. Okay, Harsh, you can try to put your single child scroll view on the container, and of course I'll put the padding again, so that we will get some space between them. So now you can see we have a scroll as well, right? So I was about to cover today because as you can see over here, we have some data, right, which is being like going downwards. So of course we need a scroll in that. So let's try to first create this part, right? And then let's see what we can do. Okay, so now when I click on sign button, right, I should be about 40, 20. Yeah. So now if I click on a sign in button, I should be navigated to the different page that is going to be our home page. So I'm going to create a new page inside my lib folder, and I'm going to call home.dart. Right. Now, for now, I'm going to use stateless widget, but first I will import the library called material.dart, right? And all you know is because we are using some widgets, which is given by material.dart library. Now I'm going to create a stateless widget for now, and I'm going to call that widget as home page, right? Now, as soon as I click on the sign in button, I should be navigated to the different page. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and check it out where my button is. Button is right over here. I'm going to wrap my container into a gesture detector, right? Gesture detector, right? And this is going to have an on tap method, which is going to accept a function, and that function is going to be a navigator dot push. Okay, now you need to actually analyze one thing, that whenever you try to log in some app, right, and then you try to press the back button, your login page will never come. Instead, you will be sent to your menu screen. Is because once you are logged in, again you cannot go to the login page. Once you are logged in means that login page will be removed from this stack, and that is what we are going to do right now. So till now we were just pushing, right? Now after saying push, see, when we are pushing, right, we will be able to go back, right? But when there is a login page, you are not allowed to go back. So for that, whenever I'm going to click on sign, we will just take a look for that. Material page route, and my builder is going to be a context, and I'm going to call a function that is going to be our home page, right? So now if I click on this, I will go to my blank black page. I'll just, instead of container, I will create a scaffold, right? So I'll get a white screen. So now if I just try to go back, I'm actually able to go back on my login page, but that should not happen. So how we're going to handle is that. So right now we are saying our navigator to push something, but now to handle this scenario, what we are going to say our navigator is, you have to push and you have to remove also. So whatever the page which is inside this stack of our home page, right, of our navigator, or which are going to be before our home page, are going to get removed, right? So what I will use right over here, I will say navigator dot, can you see over here, push and remove until, right? So what this will do, this will actually remove all the page which is before home page in this stack will be removed, and only the page which we are going to give over here is going to remain. So our new page is going to be our home page, right? So let's take this and keep our new route name over here, and let's get rid of this part. Why this is going to give, why this is giving an error? Okay, I'll just try this one more time. Maybe we are missing with some brackets. So I will say navigator navigator dot push. Okay, it's not push name. We use push name, push and remove until. Okay, that was the issue. We are not using name routes. We are using the material page routes, right? Okay, right over here, we are missing one bracket. So now, can you see over here? I'm saying that push all the pages, right, till my home page, and then remove all this stuff from there. So now I will just click on this sign in, right? And then you can see, even if I stretch my page, or if you will just try on your emulator, it will never go back, right? And that is what happened actually. If once you are logged in, user is not allowed to go back, right? So now we are on our home page. So I will just go ahead and create the UI, which is going to look something like this. So first we have something called explore, then we have stuff over here. But now, can you see over here, we have the page which is going to have a scroll, right? So there are multiple widgets you can use. For now, we are using, for the first page, we used single child scroll view. Now you can use list view as well, right? But again, I'm going to use, okay, let's try list view first. So list view again accepts things as a children, right? So I'm going to put as children, and first I'm going to have is a text widget, and let's say it as an explore. Let's see what we get. So now you can see over here, I got a weird explore, is because we are missing with the scaffold. Let's go ahead and wrap our widget into a scaffold. What's wrong today with me? I'm just making more. Okay, as we have a child over here, we cannot use scaffold like that way. So better to remove this and use scaffold, right? And then let's put the body for our scaffold, and that is going to be our list view. So right over here, you can see we have a list view, and it has an explore button. So now we got an explore button right over here. So what I want to do now is I want to make this explore button to look bigger. So I will increase the font size. So I will use style. I will use text style class, right? And inside my text style, I'm going to use font size, and I will give it to 18.0, which is going to be a more bigger. Okay, it's less 28. Oops, no, it is 128. Still more 38. Okay, no, it's more big. Let's keep it 32. And let's give some padding so that it looks a little bit good. So I will wrap my widget, text widget, the padding widget, using this smart way to do. It is going to be, sorry, I'm not going to type, because we already have an option to wrap widget with padding, wrap with padding, right? So it will automatically add a padding of 8.0. We had a question yesterday, what will be the default padding for, what will the default value for the padding widget? It is going to be a 8.0, right? So now we have a padding right over here. Now let's go ahead and see how we can do. So now you need to really understand how you're going to create this UI. So what we will do is, okay, we will have first just take a look on this part, right? On only on this part, and analyze how this UI is going to look like when you think you have three boxes next to each other, right? Just just don't consider this two box different. Just consider this two box as a one box, right? So it becomes three box total, right? So in a row, because they are next to each other, so in a row you have a three box, right? And then for first box, everything is like whatever the space is available, everything is taken by that box. So of course we are going to have uh, an expanded widget with some width, right, with some height, so that it takes all the available space. And then we are going to come on the next box. Now if we go inside to that next box, right, then we have two box which is vertical, which is top of each other. So of course we are going to use column for that, and same for these two thing, right? So let's go ahead and try to build, and let's see what we can build. So first thing, after a padding, what I need to do is, as I said, let's consider this two box as one box for now, because we want to put all the box next to each other. So we are going to use a row for that, right? So what we will do right over here, I will use row, and I'll make it a children's, right? Now I will make one container, right? And first thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that container to get like have some height. So let's give a height of 50.0, right? And let's give a color. So as you can see over here, we are going to have a round edges. So we need to have a box decoration. So we will use color inside the box decoration. So I will decorate my container. And I hope you guys are now familiar with this box decoration class and all those stuff, container rows, because we are using this stuff every time. Now we're going to have in a box decoration, we're going to have a color, and that color is going to be our hex. So I will use 0, 0, XFF, and then the color code. So what I will do, I will just use my color picker from here. I will take my color, Control C, and I will put my color right over here. So now if you will just take a look, we have no width available. So that is the reason it's not visible, 10.0. So now you can see we have a width and we have something visible over here, but we don't want to have that small. So first, let's try to expand our container. Let's do that by putting inside and expand it. So now we have our first box, which is taking all the available space. Let's increase the document, and let's increase the height to, how about 100? Yeah, 100 is fine. Let's just curve the edges first. So border, that is going to be a border radius dot is going to be a circular. So border radius dot circular, and I'm going to put 10.0, right? So now we have a curve edges, which is more. Let's take it to 5. Yeah, this is fine. Now I'm going to format my document, and now inside my child, right, inside my container right over here, you can see what do I have. Inside my container, I have an icon and a motor. Now they are again on top of each other. So of course it's a column. So we need to use a column for that. So let's try to put those first, right? So the container is going to have a child, and that child is going to be our column, so that we can put two icons over there and text as well. So column, and let's put children inside that. And first children is going to be our icon, and the icon name is icons.car wash or something like that. Let's take it car rental for now. And let me just change the color. Oh, car rental doesn't look good. Local car wash. Yes, this will definitely look good. Yeah. So let me just change the color to colors dot white. Now we have a white color ready, and let's try to make this center. So main axis alignment and main axis alignment dot center, right? Now I'm going to format my document, and just after down my icon, I'm going to have a text, and that text is going to say, I don't know what is that text. For now let's just put hi and give a style, and let's give a color. So I will use text style, and we're going to have a color or colors dot white. Are we getting an error? Why is that? Because we are missing one bracket. Yeah. So now we have a hi, but I don't know the motors. Okay. So let's put motors over here. Now we have our motor ready. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this expanded, right? What we created just now. I'll just take that expanded and a container. I'll copy and paste. So now we have two ready. In the same way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a third one as well. So now we have three box ready, right? Now we need first box as it is, but for second box, if we just go ahead and take a look in the spec, for the second box, we need inside two more box, right? And they are in vertical manner. So instead of using a container directly, first we will use a column, right? And that column is going to have two child of the same container, right? So what I will do, I will just, for my second box, that is, just not to get confused, I'm going to collapse this. So now we have three expanded: first box, second box, and third box, right? Now I'm going to remove, or I'm going to just use this expanded, and I'm going to remove this container for now. Control X, and I'll put a column, right? Because we need two containers in a vertical manner. So I'll use column, and inside column, I'm going to put children's, and that is going to have a two children, right? So now if I put my container inside that and see, what we have is something like this, right? But we don't want to look something like this, right? So what I will do, I'll just format my document, and I'll make my this container to remove height, and instead of giving an height, I will just say to take all the available width, right? And instead of giving a height, what I will say is wrap with a widget called expanded. So it will take all the available space vertically, because make sure why it is going to take all the space vertically is because we are inside column, right? And column works vertically. So now it will take all the space vertically, but no, we got an error. That is so big, non-zero flex, but incoming height was counted. Okay. So we already have a child expanded right over there. So what we can do is, let's try to have, let's try to remove this. Remove this widget, right? And now let's try to put the container. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to format my document, and let's go ahead and put some space in between of this container. Or let's just give some padding so that they become as same what we need, or else we can just use the spacing as well. So now we have, if you guys will just get confused for that, what we're going to do is we have two containers, right, inside column. So this is the column, and then we have two containers having motors as well. So now what I can do is, can I try height over here and try to make this double dot infinity as well? Okay, that's the problem. We cannot have full height because we're already using expanded over here, right? So now what we can do is, instead of having main axis alignment, so right now what I can do, main axis alignment to main axis alignment dot space between. So what this will do, it should take space between. How about space evenly? Okay, nothing works. Okay. Okay, so how can we deal with this? So what I was thinking is, I can use the expanded, right? And then let me just try to remove this expanded from here. And so what I was thinking was, like, I can put all my content in the column and then make my column expanded so that they take all the available space, but that is not going to work because we are using expanded outside as well. We cannot have expanded inside, and that gives an infinite height. So instead of having a two container, we can have a size box of 20.0, a height of 10.0. Let's see what we get. So here I have some height available, right? And what I can do is, I can get some margin for this column from both the side, or how about if we get a padding from both the side? Let's try to get padding from all. Yeah, this looks cool. And let's give some spacing more. Yep. But how about, so now let's do one thing. Let's try to use the same stuff for the third as well. So what I will do, I will use this is my second expanded and this is my third expanded. So I will just remove my third expanded, right? And I will use my second expanded as it is, so that I'll get the design same without writing anything. I'll put it right over here, and you can see we have our things ready. Now, what we can do is we can give a little bit of margin wrap with widget. No, wrap with padding for our row. And let's give only padding from the left hand side, because on right we already have a padding, right? You can see right, we have already have a padding. So we'll use only, and we will say from left you take 8.0, 8.0, right? So now we have equal space, right, all this side. And for this container, what we can do is, let's try to have some less space from all this side. 4 is fine for our size box. 4 is fine, right? So yeah, this looks pretty good. Now what we can do is we can have even 4 over here. 4 over here, and 4 over here as well. Okay, so now what I was thinking, you know, why I was thinking to put an expanded right over here is because, so now we have equal space from all the side, but the problem is they are not aligned on from the top, right? So if we use an expanded, then they should get aligned, but somewhere in our widget tree we are missing some concept, and that is the reason we are not getting that. Okay, so I guess we have equal space from all this side, but not the motor one. For the motors, from this, for this one, not this one. For the first motor, what we can do is, okay, we didn't had any padding for our motor. So what we can do is, instead of giving a padding to our whole row, we will just give padding to our motors, right? So what I will do, I'll just remove this widget. The padding will be removed from the row, so that I can have a more control on this container, right? Wrap with widget. Sorry, why I will use wrap with widget, I don't know. I can just have a padding, right? And now you can see we have a padding from all the side. Right now, okay. So now we can update the colors. But there is one weird thing over here. We didn't use these things. So yeah, maybe I got the issue why we were not able to use that was because I'll just change. Okay, so very first thing is, for this last four boxes, we have our icons and the text is in a horizontal way. So of course I need to have a row instead of a column. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys won't get like confused, so here we have 3 expanded. I'm working on the second expanded, right? And on the second expanded, for this icon and text, what I'm going to do is, instead of this column, I'm going to change it to row, right? So now you can see we have a row. And if it's possible for me to use an expanded on a row, let's try. Expanded. I guess the container is the issue. I'll try to remove this. And let me just try expanded one more time. Somewhere I'm missing something. How about if I use expanded on this row? Did it work? I'll make this as a row as well. And I'll use widget and expand it. No. So somewhere we are missing something, and that is bad. For now, we keep it as a row, but I really need to debug what's okay. So let's try to debug this. What's making this wrong, right? And so for that, let me just get an error one more time. I'll wrap my container right into an expanded. So now you can see over here, we don't have our one box, and we will try to figure it out. Let's see how much time does it take. If it is going to take more time, then we have to move forward, or else using this dev tool, we can play around with what's happening with our widget tree, right? So this will show you what's causing an issue. If this works perfectly fine, then let's see. So first we have a row, right? Inside our list view, we have a row. Then we have a tree expanded, right? And we are having an issue in our second expanded. So now I'll just go to my second expanded. And if I use an expanded right over here, and if I just check out my layout builder, so dev tool is not working properly. Maybe sometimes I just and catch exceptions. So this was my mistake. Sorry, guys. Can I bring out this outside? Okay. So now, if I can show the builder, yeah, right over here. Before it used to get open inside our browser, but I don't know, with a new update, it's not getting open in browser. So first we have an expanded, right? And then it has a padding, and then the second expanded. So we are having a problem with this expanded, right? So if I just take a look and change my flex, then it is increasing in this way, okay? Because we are in row, but we need to have that expanded. Okay, never mind. Let's just move forward because this is not working properly as expected. I just want to open this in my Chrome. Let me just try. No, I can't. Okay. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's move forward because this is consuming the time. Right. Okay. So now I'll just go ahead and change it to whatever we are looking for. How can I close this now? Okay. So now we can just go ahead, and it's already 9:14. We can update the icons, right? And the text we already have, right? So now let's move forward for creating this popular trending. So for that, what we can do is right next to our row, below of our row, we can have a simple, one second, let me just bring in. So we have simple popular trending text, and then we have all text. So what we can do is, I'll just create, now just take a look over here. Again, they are next to each other and they have a space. So now you can do these things in a row, right? So what you need to do is you will create a row again, a new row, so that you will get things down. If you will use same row, then it is going to be in the same row, right? So we need things in a new line, so we will use a new row. First, we need to have a text, right? And then that text is going to be popular trending. And then the other text is going to have view all. Now we have popular trending and view all right over here. Now, there was an issue when we try to use a spacing in between. So now what we can do is either we can use spacer, right, which will make them at the end of the screen, just like that, or else you have another way to do this. If you don't want to use spacer, right, then you can play with the property of row. That is going to be a main axis alignment, and we tried upwards, but it didn't work. So right over here, what we can do is main axis alignment, dot, I can make them space in between, right? I need space in between of that text, right? So there are two texts and I want to make that space in between of them. So I will say space in between. So they will take a space in between actually. Now, if I want to have them an equal space, right, what I will say, space even. So they'll take equal spaces, right? And it looks center. If I want to make them at space around, so that will also work as same. We can you see it is just taking space outside of them both, but before what, with the space evenly, it took an equal spaces. Now space around will take the space outside of them, right? So you cannot see the more difference in this case, but yeah, it works that way. We can have center as well, so they both will be center, right? We can have at end, so that both will be at the end. And we can have, by default it will be at start, and that's what we saw, right? So it will be at the start, but now I want to make them space between, so I will use space between. So this will actually take some space, and I will add some padding to 8, right? So now we have our popular trending ready. Now, how do we put an image, and then down of that image, how we put the text, right? So we will use the network image. So somewhere we will use some image. So for that, I will use game controller image. I didn't found anyone good. So I will use one of the game controller right from here. I will just copy images, right? And now, right over here, you can see again, we have things in a new line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more row, right? Because they all box are in horizontal way. So I will use one more row after this padding gets over right over here. And I'm going to use row. Inside row, I'm going to create one box. And of course, how do we create box is container, right? So I'm going to use container. I'm going to have child. And that child is going to have network image, right? And that accepts, network image accepts the URL. sorry, first we need to have an image. Inside image, I'm going to have image, and that is going to be our network image. First, I need to say my builder that I want to put some image, and then I will say from where that image will come from. So this image is going to come from the network. So I will use the URL right away. So this will take the URL and display the image. Now, I'll just open my right over here, Control S. So you can see over here, we got an image, and that is quite big. And that is the reason it is looking something like this. Now, I will control this image by giving some height and width. I'm going to give height of 100. And let's see. So I got an image which looks something like this. And down of this image, I need to put some text. So of course, I cannot put text after the container, or else it will go next to that container, right? So what I will do, I will wrap my container in a column, right? And then I'll put some text. So that text, okay. So that text is going to be, how about, what was the PlayStation? Yeah. Right, we got a PlayStation over here. We need some space as well. What is the space? We call this size box. Yeah. Size box is going to be 20.0. Oops, that is height, sorry. And height is going to be a 20.0. It's more, 10. Okay. Now, the height is 100. How about if I make this container to have some expanded, so that we can use that expanded again and again, and then we'll update the content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make wrap with widget, and I'll make that column to expanded. Let's see. I'm always bad with the expanded. Okay. Format the document, and let's try to put expanded for all 3 times. Control C and Control V. So now we have 2 ready. Now we have 3 ready as well, right? Of course, there's a spacing issue, which we're going to resolve now. And I hope we don't have any errors. Yes, we don't have till now. Okay. So first thing, what we need to do is, so if you guys will not get confused, for that, I'll just collapse. Right, we have 3 expanded. We are going to work with first one, and we are going to give a border radius. So for that, we are going to use decoration, and that is going to be our box decoration, and that part is going to be our border radius. Border radius dot circular, and let's take it 5.0. Okay. So now the reason why it is not taking a circle is because format document. We have, okay. So, okay, see, now the reason why the curves are not getting a border for the image is because image is a different widget and container is a different widget. So now, instead of having a code on the container, we can use a curve on the image. But the reason why we need to do is that because I want to introduce a new widget which is being used and which is more popular, is something called clip our rect. So what is that exactly do? We want to clip our image, right? We want to cut our image, and that is what a technical word for the web development as well as other mobile development. We clip something, right, into a shape. So what we will do, I will take my image widget and wrap it with a widget called clip rect. Clip rect, right? And this will allow you to give a border radius, wherein I will give you border radius dot circular and of 5.0, and this should clip my image. I'll just try to fit box fit. It works. I'm going to explain you what I'm doing. Yes, this worked exactly. Now you can see I'll just make it 0 first so that you guys can understand. So can you see now we are having that stuff. So now the reason why it was not visible for getting a clip was because we were having some height of the container, right? And we were not taking all the available space of the height. We were just putting our image and we were not fitting our image into our container. And that is why the clip was not visible. And to not get more confused, let's put some padding to all. Padding. Let's put padding for this expanded as well. And let's put some padding for this expanded as well. Okay. So now there will be a possibility that things may go outside of the screen, right? Because now you can see you have a different stuff over here. So now, what if you want to make things scroll horizontal as well, right? So for that, we are going to make our document formatted, right? And this is our row. If I'm not wrong, I will take my row, right? And I will say list view. And of course, this is going to be a children. So what I will do is I'll just wrap my row with a column and then I'll change it with a column and then I'll change it to a list view so that I don't have to define these children, right? Now, what I will do, scroll direction, right? And I'm going to say axis not horizontal, right? Now this should allow me to scroll horizontally, but this will not happen since we are using a list view for vertical. I will use column. Let me just rebuild my widget tree so that we'll get to know what is wrong. Okay, everything is wrong. So guys, this is what happened if you have not practiced before doing something, or when you are trying for the first time. So believe me, I have not practiced what I'm going to do today, and that is why I am messing up over here. But yeah, when you're going to build something, of course you're going to do it for the first time, right? So you have to face this issue and you should know how to tackle those as well. So now what I will do is I will just make this into a row. Let me just try this, right? And I'll just remove this widget. Okay. Where we put an expanded, and that was the reason we messed up. we had a padding. If I remove a padding, I'll put a padding of 0 and let's see what we have. Okay. Now the thing is, our parent widget, that is row, this is column, I'll just get rid of this part, remove this widget. We have row, and this row should be, I'll try to get rid of this padding as well, so that we'll get to know how we can debug. Remove this widget as well. I'll try to rebuild. Okay. So now inside our row, we have one column padding, padding. Okay. Why do we have a column over here? Let me just remove this. Now the thing is, this row should be expanded. What I think is, is it going to work? No. How if I will provide a width of 100 as well? Okay, so you can see the first one is having an expanded, but not all, right? So what I will do, I'll just provide a width, right? And I'll provide a width. And then I'm going to make them box fit so that they take all the available space. Fit box fit dot cover. First one is fully covered. Let me just try to cover up the another as well. Expanded and okay, inside the image. Now they were covered and we have some spacing issue as well. This is having 8. Then I'm going to have 0 for this. Yeah. Now for the second one, we're going to have a clip rect for the image. So I will use clip rect and a border radius of dot circular, and it is going to be 5.0, right? So now we have a code image, and let me try for the third one as well. I could have made first one and then I have copy pasted for all. Clip rect and it's going to be a border radius dot circular 5.0. Now I'll just get rid of this expanded because this is going to give me an error, of course. Remove this widget. Okay. So now you can see we have our box ready, but not the way we want. And for that, Let's see, we got kind of more time. Let's try to debug, because right over here, if we debug that part, then all of the things are same, right? And I know definitely I'm missing somewhere with the parent widget where it is not taking all the available space, that is the width. So for that, what I can do is, first I have expanded. I'll remove this and see what do I get. So the error still persists right over here. Incorrect usage of parent data widget. So where I am using that? Maybe this one. Okay, I'll remove. Still the same. Okay. So now if you'll see, we don't have any error in the console, right? Now we can definitely try playing with this stuff. So first thing, I just want to make all the box take all the whatever the available space is there in the row, right? And that I'm not able to do that. So we have a column right over here, right? And inside column, I'm putting my row. And inside row, I'm putting my container. Why do I need a row over here? I'm having a single container right over here. So we messed up somewhere over here. We don't need a row. I'm going to remove this widget, right? Let us check our console. We don't have any error. Yeah, we don't. Did we do same for this part? I guess no. Okay. So now my column is this. Let me try expand it one more time. What I'm going to do is first I'll just remove this part and this part. I'll just command this down. So that we have only one image in our tab or in our code. Now I used column, I used row, in that I used column, right? Now this image, like the whole column should be, what if I change to row, right? And this becomes like this. I'll take my container to, I'll take my both text and container inside column. And I'm going to have, do I have any questions? Oh, shit. I didn't take a look on the question today. Can you use two expanded on a same row or column? Yeah, we can use that, but we always need to take care what the parent is, right? Can't we extract the widget? Can't we extract the widget and do it? I don't know what exactly it means, someone. Maybe due to the expanded. Yeah, exactly. The issue why we are having is because of expanded, right? And to be frank, I'm really bad at expanded, but I'm still trying out the things, right? Maybe using card is the best option. Card will not solve your problem because card and container both are same. Card has some design, pre-designed, but container doesn't. But the thing is, we have an issue is because of an expanded. Let me just try to figure it out. we are having an issue with the parent, and that is the reason our expanded is not working. So what I will do, I'll just take a look on the document. Right. Okay. Till now, till that you guys can post the question if you want, right? I'll take a look on that. Says okay. Okay, I have a row, and then I have a container. Okay. So here we messed up was like, okay, see, now you want to make things expanded, or you want to make things available all this space. So for example, right over here, we have nothing right now, right? And the row is totally empty. The things are commented, right? Now, inside row, I should directly use expanded before using any widget, right? The expanded need some height and width, right? And that will be provided by the row widget. So for example, now what I will do, I will use an expanded, right? And I'm going to have a container for that. Just for your example, that's what we did for motors, right? Now I'm going to have a child. Let's take first color. Let me just put this down so that things becomes more formatted. I'm going to give the color, and the color is going to be colors.red. Colors.red, right? And I'm going to give height of 100 pixels, right? And if I save, so now you can see we have a complete ready container. Right now, inside this, I need my image and a text. So what I will do, first I will use this clipart rect. So let's just build from the beginning, because we messed up. So now, after doing this mistake, definitely I'm going to remember that I should not use any widget before expanded if I'm inside any children. So expanded should be the first widget before using a widget, before using any other widget. What we were doing was we were using a container, and inside container we were using a column, and then we were using an expanded, right? So that is not the case now, right? We need a container first, right? We need expanded first, and expanded should have a container inside. Now what I will do, I will just use a child, and that child is going to have a column, because we need image and text, right? So this column is going to have children's, and the first children is going to be image, and that is going to be our image, and that image is going to come from network image. And let's put the URL. I don't have it, I lost it. I'll use the same copy image address. Now let's fit it over here and see what we have. So now you can see we have our whole expanded image, but it is getting overflowed by some pixels. How do we take care? Is just like this. We want to say that you need to fit inside the box, right? So I will say box fit dot cover. Okay. It doesn't. Okay. So now the problem over here is we have a column, right? And above the column, we have a height, right? We don't have any height for our image. So what we can do is either we can give height directly, saying that it should be saying that it should be 90, right? So you can see now we have our whole image coming up right over here. So let's make our height of 150 for our outer box, right? And get rid of the color. Now, we have an image of 90 and box fit dot fill. Okay, and I will say width to double dot max finite. We should take all the available space. I'm still messing up somewhere. Okay, so now over here is the image is going to have only whatever the space is for column, right? But now you want to make your container or image to take all the available space. So what you will do, you need to have a container with the same height or the less height of the above container, right? That is this container. So what we will do, we will use this network image as it is. And instead of using an image widget, because we don't have more control over there, so what we will do, we will use a container. And let's put our decoration for that. So what exactly we are doing is we are going to use the container inside the column, and then we are going to give a background image to that container, right? So what we will do, child. First, let's do a decoration. That is going to be our box decoration. And for this, we're going to have an image, and that is going to be our decorated image class. Decoration image, right? And inside this, I'm going to use image, and that is going to be our whole image, right? So I will just format my document. And right over here, if I save, then we don't have anything is because we have not given any height. So our top is having 150 of height. Let's give this as 100, right? So now this give me a quite nice image, and let's try to make this fit. So this should actually take, if we are not wrong, then this should cover all the space. So fit should have box fit dot cover, right? Yes, this is what we need. Now down our container, I need to have a text, right? And inside text, I'm gonna put play station. So now I have a PlayStation, and I'll just give some padding to my expanded to 8.0. Oops, we cannot, again, we made the same mistake. We cannot use any widget on the top of expanded, right? So yeah, we always need to remember, and that is why we got an error. So now you can see we have a nice looking strip. How do we make it look same as we are having? First, let's go ahead and take a border. Let's try border radius on the container. Okay, so border radius is going to be over here. Border radius. So yeah, this is a good learning for me as well. Like I always used to do this mistake, and I always keep thinking why this happened. But now analyzing everything, I got to know that we cannot use any widget on top of the expanded. It should be the parent 5.0. Right now we have a covered image as well. Now what I will do, I'll just format the document. And for our container, we will use the same expanded to make it look same. Second one and the third one, right? Now we have 3 equally aligned box, and this looks pretty good. And it looks same, right? What we are trying to achieve in the quick B. Now, of course, you can go ahead and update the images, right? That is not the toughest part right over here. You have to just update the URL. You can do it by your own, and you can update the PlayStation text as well. That is pretty simple. Now, what I can do is I can extract this whole thing, this popular trending and this part in a one single widget so that I can reuse it again and again, right? So for that, what I will do, I will just go to that row. The row is this one, right? So we have a padding widget. So I will use this as one widget where I will just control exit, and I will create my own widget saying that widget header, right? HEADER. I'll pass my build context so that if this is going to have any context in it, it can reuse it. Now I will use this header. Now if I just use it, the header is no more available. Now if I use this header right over here, and I'll pass my context, comma, I have my header over here. And the same way, I will extract my this part into one widget so that our tree looks clean and it doesn't look more confusing now. I will use widget. I'll call it as image content. I'll pass my build context. So in this method, we are not using build context anywhere, but it is a good idea to pass build context everywhere so that we will get to know where our thing lies. Now I'm going to have image content, right? So now you can see we have our clean, even I can extract this part so that I can have a clean looking tree. And I will call this as widget. I'll call it as options. I'll pass my build context, right? And then I will return the row. Oops, I lost it. Control X. I just used Control C on a blank space and it copied the blank space. Widget option builder, build context, and I'm going to return and Control V. Okay, not this time. Thank God. Now we need to call this on the top so that it will be visible. So after this part right over here, I will say, what do we call it as? Option builder, right? Yes. So now you can see we have our list view, which looks more clean because I have separated all the thing and it doesn't look more confusing. So this is the way you can create your tree more clean for the main method, right? And of course, you can use format document for having a proper format. Even you can create your own header. So now, what is the use of this is I can just go ahead and use this both right over here, and I'll get the new stuff down right over there. Right, I will use it again and I'll get the new stuff down over there, and I'll be able to scroll easily. Right, so whenever you write a code, it's a better way to, you know, separate it into a different method so that you can call that method again and again, and you don't have to, you know, take care of more things. Now you can make this more specific by passing the parameters, right? So yeah, passing parameters will make it more specific. So I guess we are reaching 10, and I hope you guys even learn with me where we messed up the things and we got to know where was our problem. And this is how actually the real world coding works, right? I could have really, you know, prepared myself and have delivered what I have prepared on the screen directly. But doing these things, you know, facing the issues, which is going to be like same in the real world, right? And that is the best part, what I say, because we will learn to understand, like we will learn how to debug this stuff, and we will get to know we'll get to know better from our mistakes, right? So can you please explain build context one again? What does it do and how does it work? Try using inside list view once again. I mean, just passing the arguments that are required and calling the widgets multiple times. Okay, that is what I'm trying to show over here. Just create one widget, pass the parameters and arguments, and then recall it again so that you can use it again and again, right? Try using list view once again. I don't know what does it mean, Dheeraj. Can you please okay, so the build context is nothing but it will show where your widget lies under your widget tree. So now what is widget tree actually? So now you can see, just take a look on my this part, right? The linings, right? This actually shows the tree itself. So first we have a scaffold which is on the root, right? For this page is having scaffold as a root. Then the child of the scaffold, right, is list view. So I'll just draw and show so that you will understand. You don't need sketch. I'll just create a new sketch so that it will be more clear. So now just take a look over here. First, we have a scaffold, right? So this is scaffold. Then scaffold has a child called padding. No, a list view, right? List view. Now list view is having multiple child in a tree, right? The first one is padding widget. The second one is the widget which we build, right? That is option builder. I'm sorry for my drawing. This is how I draw without mouse. Now I have a mouse. Then we have something called header, right? So behind the screen, right, Flutter creates such tree, right? And if you want to keep a track which widget lies where inside the tree, that information will be given by the build context, right? So for example, if I want to know where this header lies in my tree, the context holds the information. So in future, if I will click on this part and go somewhere on some other page, right, and then I want to come back, right? Oops. And then I want to come back from that page to this page, this context which we have passed over here will tell our navigator to say that you have been come from login register page or home page. Please go back to the home page, and you were the click part was this, right? So the context hold all the information where you will get to know, where Flutter will get to know that which widget lies under which hierarchy, right? So trees have an hierarchy, and it will be useful to know which exactly where our widget is lying inside whole tree, and that is the use of build context. I hope you understood. I just explained the build context verbally on that day, but now I drawed the diagram. I know it was not that great diagram, but I hope you guys got an idea how build context work. What does it and how it work? Okay, scrollable, put more image and make it horizontal scrollable. Okay, so let's try that as well. So what we're gonna do is, um, can we try that in a new way? So what I can do, I'll just command this down, right? And I'll create a new body. Let's not just match it up with our code which we have created. So what I will do, I will create a list view, right? So now there are different types of list view. If you want to have something called builder, then you can use a list view builder as well. And then I can have item builder where I will pass my build context. And then I'll pass my index. And then I will return the container which have height of 100 and a width of 100 as well. And let's give a color. Colors dot red accent, and let's give some padding. Let's see what we get. So now you can see we got a vertical scroll, right? And you can see we have infinite containers ready. But now what we can do is we can really say our list view.builder to put things horizontal way. So what I can do is scroll direction to axis dot horizontal, right? So now you can see I have a horizontal scroll. I can scroll my widget horizontally, right? So it's all about providing the access. By default, the axis will be vertical, right? And if you want to put that thing into, now if you want to have a specific height, then you should wrap your container and give some height of 120.0, and this will create a nice what we were looking for, right? So this is how it exactly works, and it is pretty simple. I hope you understood. It's all about providing the access, and yeah, it works perfectly fine. I'll just do Control X. I'll just remove this. I'll remove this body as well. And let's have the code which we did. How do we uncomment this? Okay. So now we have things ready. So do we have any questions? Do we have any confusions? It's already 10. We are going to have today some exciting things. Like I'm more excited who is going to win for the quiz. So I hope you guys have seen whole session nicely and understand everything properly. We messed up, and then we did mistakes, and then we actually learn from that mistakes, right? So I hope that the question setter is going to put some question, especially on expanded, so that we will get to know what exactly it is happening. Okay, if we use expanded with scrollable, if we use expanded with scrollable, this is same as spacer. No, a spacer actually creates a spacing, right? But expanded will take all the available space for that particular for the particular child which is given inside, right? So spacer will just increase the space in between of two widgets, right? So if you have text and if you have container and if you put spacer in between, then it is going to increase the space, right? But how expanded is going to work is, for example, if you have a container and if you're going to give that container as a child of that expanded, then it is going to take all the available space, or horizontally or vertically. If you're using in row, then it is going to take horizontally. If you're using vertical, then it is going to, if you're using in column, then it is going to take vertically, right? So that is the difference between expanded and spacer. So do we have more questions? Or do we move forward for the Kahoot? Okay, I got some questions. I don't know, the scroller is not getting in, like scrolled by its own. Bottom navigation bar is left, I guess. Okay, there are so many things which is left, and let us see what we have. Okay, so we have a bottom navigation bar over here. Can we do it? Can we do that quickly? Let me just try. Okay, till now that till we complete the bottom navigation bar, I hope we will be ready with the quiz, right? So let's see. On this scaffold, we will get a bottom navigation bar as well. So what we can say over here is bottom navigation bar, right? And I'm going to have, that is not bottom navigation bar, it's a bottom tab bar. Okay. What is that property called as? Yeah, bottom navigation bar, and then we have a container. Then we use bottom. Oh, the bottom navigation bar actually accepts things as in children. The bottom navigation bar to display at the bottom. So yeah, I can have a child, right? And I can put the row, put my text right over here. Or else directly you can use the API which is given by the Flutter, right? Just a second. We have that API called as I just forgot the name of that API. I will always use the Flutter documentation while building an app. So yeah, I never remember things. I'm bad at remembering the things. Yeah, so we have an API called bottom navigation bar itself. Bottom navigation bar, right? This accepts things as in children. So it is going to have multiple children items. So we can put the items right over here, saying that bottom navigation bar item. I can put the icon over here, and I can say icons to be a icons dot home, right? And then I can have even the icons, and I can have more icons. So this will actually create the icons for, but there is one issue. I don't know whether that issue has been resolved or not. If we have more than 3 icons, it will create, okay. So can you see over here, we kept the item, right? But it is saying the item title should never be null. We are just providing the icon. We are not providing the title. So what we can do is we can give the title as text home. We will change it quickly, right? So we have the bottom navigation bar ready down over here. And I can change the icons to chat. I can change this icon to, what do we call it? Whatever the icon we have. So here we have home and then something, then chat. And on a triangle and then a chat. So now you can see we can easily get the tab bar as well. Any questions? We have more questions. How do we make app responsive to the device ratio? So yeah, we created, we used media query yesterday, right? So in Flutter, it is pretty simple, right? You need to use media query, you need to use height and width of the device, and then simply just use those numbers and convert that numbers to a percentage, right? There are many packages also available to, if you want to create responsive app without writing any code, right? There is something called Velocity X, right? It will allow you to create the app without writing your, like without making your own code, and it follows the guidelines of materials as well. If we are going to do, then of course we are not going to follow the guidelines of the material, because first we need to teach ourselves the design thinking of the material, then we can do. So yeah, media query is the thing. We use media queries over here as well, and then we make our app responsive. If you want to have a more insight on that, there is a one video, like I have given a talk on the Flutter India YouTube channel, how to create app responsive. You can go ahead and take a look on that. But yeah, that is quite of simple. You can definitely go ahead and take a look. I will share the link for sure on the Discord. So yeah, do we have any question? Yes, have a good session with you. Have a good session with you. Bottom navigation bar is left. I mean expanded and scrollable case. I mean using expanded and scrollable case. I don't know what exactly it means. So if you have multiple scroll, right, then you cannot use list view. For that you need to use slivers, right? And for that actually you need to understand how those things work, right? Like we have a list view. In a similar way, we have slivers list view, slivers grid view. So there are many widgets, right? But we cannot even, like, we cannot complete these things like in one go. But yeah, you need to keep doing, you need to keep fluttering to know everything about Flutter. So yeah, Neil, can you hear me, Neil?
Yes, I can hear you. Hasnan.
Okay, so what's the plan for today? What we're going to do?
Now, I mean, if there are, if
Is
any,
Pranal there? Is Pranal there? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, sure. I will push it.
yeah, I mean, if anybody has doubts, guys, you can go ahead and ask your doubts. Or if there are no doubts as of now, I think we can, if if everybody is ready and excited for the game of Kahoot, we can start that. And I think someone asked a doubt. Someone, Casey, asked a doubt. Can you explain the future part? I think
Can you
once.
explain the future part? Splash screen. You mean whatever the future we used yesterday for on this splash screen? Oh yeah. So for that part, the issue was for the we were using build method. So now what we can do for that on our landing page, right? And I have used this. So I will convert this stateless widget to a stateful widget, right? So the splash screen we can create in the Flutter, but the landing, the launch screen should be created in a native way. We have to configure native way for the Android and iOS. So now what I will do, I will just override my init state by init, right? And I'll call super dot init state, and then I'll wait for my build method to wait. Will build. So widget binding widget dot widgets dot. There is a method called widget binding widget dot bindings widgets dot binding. There is something called add post callback for widget bindings. Widget, yes, over here, widget binding dot instance dot add post callback frame. In this, I will use my future dot delay. Format the document. I need to change my home as well. I'll change my home to landing page. Let's just try. So now you can see it worked, but we need to stop listening to that Flutter listener as well, right? I mean, future listener as well, not the Flutter listener. So for that, or else it keeps calling. On main dot on landing page dot dot. On every second, on every 2 seconds, why does it keep cat calling? So what do I get till here? This is weird. This should not happen actually. This should work as expected, but I don't know what's happening with Future Builder. I just need to debug. We are missing On landing page, you are missing the scaffold. Oh, yes. Body. But now I guess this will create a problem where we are using this. So definitely we cannot use a scaffold right over here. How about if I make this a stateless widget? So yeah, I guess this is not going to work is because we have a stateful widget and that keeps building. This is weird actually. I don't know why it's happening like this. Is it because we are giving at main.dart? The question was from Saman, right? So Saman, can we do one thing? I will definitely take a look on this and I will get back to you on my Discord channel. I will definitely take a look on this. The reason is because we are using this as a root page, and I guess that is the issue why it is just rebuilding again and again, right? So I will definitely take a look. This should not happen even after waiting. This will wait till the build method gets executed and then the future will be executed. But this keep callings all the time. I don't know why. Do I have? No, I removed from the build as well, right? Yeah. Then this should not happen. So do you have idea how to use material splash screen instead of a white color in the opening of app? I have tried, but I'm able to put some JPEG image, but not material splash, like using text and so on. If you want to have a splash screen, right? So there is a difference between splash screen and a launch screen, right? The splash screen is not the screen which will be visible when you open the app. That is a launch screen, and you have to create that launch screen when you in the native way, whether it is in iOS or Xcode or in Android Studio, right? The splash screen you can design right over here um in your app using material designs, right? So yeah, the thing which you're talking is actually called as a launch screen, right? If you will just take a look on the Flutter document, um, launch, launch. So if we'll just take a look on this document, you will get to know the difference between the splash screen and the launch screen. Here is the link. Can we use material theme on launch screen then? Launch screen is launch screen is all about putting one image and then the color for that background. So material theme is all about using the color of material, right, and the icon of the material, whatever they are providing. So of course you can use it because you're going to do that into a native Android. So yeah, it is possible. Do we have any more questions?
I don't think there will be any more questions now, but if there are, we're still taking questions, or I think Pranal and we can start the Kahoot.
Yeah, I
The,
think we can start the Kahoot. Yeah.
yeah. Pranav, Manav, are you guys there? Avoid
Yes,
it?
I'm there. I'm there.
Okay.
Should I start presenting my screen?
Yes, Hasnan,
It's
if you
like
could
I
just
want to
start present
display
your screen.
landing page instead of white color. You have to, Dheeraj, you have to modify things in the Android, right? Android XML file. Here is the one. Android manifest.file. Right over here, they uses this splash screen from here, IC launcher, right? This is for the icon, and in the same way, they use drawable launch background. So this is the actual splash screen right over here. You need to change the color, whatever you want. And if you want an icon, you should put the icon right over here, and this will take care of everything. How can we make, so there are a couple of ways to do that. One I mentioned, you can use media query, or else you can use layout builders widget, right? That will give you the layout, like all the layout, both portrait and landscape. Using that, you can have your UI changed, right? And then, yeah, you can do it. But media query is the important thing, where you will get the ratio of device, right? And once you get the ratio of device, height and width of the device, you can multiply and play around, get a percentage and give that particular height to that. There are many videos out there on the YouTube. You should definitely check out that video. You will get to know how we can do that. But yeah, media query is the one to make your app responsive.
Yes. Also, for if whoever um, wants to play the quiz, I mean, if the doubts are over now, we can start. I think you can start presenting, Manav.
Okay, sure. Hasnan is the main presenter right now. I guess he has to stop presenting.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
I am not participating today.
Totally okay.
Okay, it's totally fine, Vasudha. Manav,
Yeah.
can you reduce the volume of a Kahoot? Move the Kahoot a little bit so that people can hear us as well. काफी है.
Manav,
I
a
start?
little more. Can you reduce a little more? Yeah, thank you.
Should I start?
Manav, just wait.
Let people join in maybe.
Yeah, sure.
I hope all of you guys are excited to win today. It was the last and final day for you guys to win something.
Yeah, Prakash will do that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I guess I'll start now. It's like 18 pair is the maximum.
Manav, just a minute. If there is anybody who's trying to join, just type it out. We'll wait for few more minutes.
Yeah.
Just if there is anybody left or anyone is trying to join, just type it out, because there are 31 participants still in the meeting. We don't want people to miss out the opportunity.
Sure.
I guess we can start because the number of people aren't increasing anymore. Guys, you have a lesser competition today, so all the best.
I'm starting now. Okay.
Yes.
Start. Okay, guys, here we go.
This answer you need to. There's an error in the screen displayed.
Manav, is there any way you can do that?
Sorry.
No, I don't know if you can see the error.
There's a picture there on the screen.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we got some answers. Yeah, we have expanded and expanded. Yeah, these are the two answers that are correct. Let's see this leaderboard. Okay.
Well, okay. Good job. Keep it up.
These both, I guess Dheeraj was more active every time. He was asking you more questions.
There is a picture displayed and you need to select which type of variable cheese is.
It's string cheese equal to JDAR for people who can't see it clearly.
Okay, we have 9 correct answers. Leaderboard, we have Rohan leading. Let's go to the next question. It's a true or false question.
Guys, 10 more seconds left. We need faster answers. 5 seconds.
Okay, we got confused there.
Okay,
It's hard. It's not what is the correct answer.
Tough quiz today.
And
Yeah,
now we have
super tough.
man leading the board. Let's go to the next question. Scaffold cannot be nested. Okay, so just so that you know that scaffold can be nested, there can be multiple scaffold. So let's go to the next one. We have Hasnen leading the board, and now we have TV on the top side. Yeah, okay, so almost 15 of them got the right answer. Let's see the board. Oh, now we have SL leading the board. Here on the second page. Well, guys, this is a multiple select answer, so play carefully. Time up, guys. Okay, so let's see the board. We have Surya having a streak of answers. With 5 answers correct in the row. What is the latest?
You guys can check directly right away inside your terminal and answer.
Yeah. Yep, 7 of them got the correct answer. Let's see the leaderboard. We have timer now. And Surya is still leading the leaderboard, so congrats to Surya. We have you have to identify the part that is being pointed with the red arrow. And time up. Okay, so 3 people got it correct. And we have Surya leading the board with 7 correct answers in the row. And let's go to the next question. Okay, we have 8 correct answers with this. Let's go to the leaderboard. And cool. Now we have Rohan, who is the highest timer of this. You guys need to type the answer for this. Hasnen, you recently in the app today. Let's see the answers. Okay, and we have 4 correct answers for this.
Nice.
See the leaderboard. We have Hasnan Swaz, who are the highest climbers for this. Someone is the highest climber with up to 3 places. And let's go with the next question. Which widget is used to resize the bottom widget? Okay, yeah, so we have 7 correct answers for this one. Let's go to the next question. Now we have Jen leading the leaderboard, Surya going to the second place. Now in this you need to type the answer. Hasnan used this widget today in order to shape the image that you put in the app. Okay, so we have 2 correct answers for this question and 2. So let's see. Go to the next question. True and false question. We have 16 correct answers for this question. Let's move on to the next. And we have Surya again on the first place, Hasnan on the second, Jain going down with the third one. We have Rahita who has an answer streak of 3. Let's move to the next question.
The leaderboard is shuffling really fast.
Yeah, it's quite rapid today. I guess this was also used by Hasnan today in the code.
I'm not sure about today, but I saw this on the first day.
Okay, so only 4 people got it correct. So just so that you know that border radius can only be used on rectangle, and it is specific to the shape. And for this time, there is no shuffling on the leaderboard. That's well, this is the last question. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Got 9 correct answers, and let's have a look at the leaderboard. On the third place, we have Surya. On the second place, we have Jayant. And on the first place, we have... Okay.
Wow.
We also have
Only today I didn't participate, but still he is on first.
Yeah, I think we have cleared that up.
Guys, if you don't know, it is not me. Or else some people will be thinking like he is only taking workshop and he is only answering and winning.
Like an you've done a good job. You come first again. Good job, man.
So what's the prize waiting for an AIN?
Yes, we'll get that slowly.
Yes. I think Pranav here would love to address that part.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, guys, the quiz is done, and I think we have come to the end of our FlutterUp. These 3 days have been great. Having all of you guys here, we have learned a lot. You guys have learned a lot. It's just been super fun. Well, then first of all, we would again extremely like to apologize for the fact yesterday's issues and stuff. We're extremely sorry. We have tried to cover it up as much as we could, and we actually value your feedbacks a lot. So we would be submitting a feedback form. If you guys could please fill it up, it will help us for our future events, and it'll basically make the experience much more smoother next time. Also, do check out our YouTube channel where we have put out the proceedings of day 1, day 2, and day 3. It'll be easier for you if you have any kind of issues regarding those. You can just access that. You can like, share, subscribe, basically. You can follow us on Instagram. We are very active. It'll keep you up to date with us as well. And you can also join our Discord channel. It's a very friendly setting. We can address your issues. You can address our issues. It'll basically be a good experience for all of us. And well, again, I hope you guys have learned a lot. And thank you so much for you guys for participating in the Kahoot quizzes as well. It's been a real fun experience. I think Warrior will now present the prizes as such. If I'm not wrong, if he
Yeah, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Sorry, you just continue.
issues, I believe.
Yes. Manav, can you post out the Discord link for our server in the chat?
Yeah, just post out the Discord link and the feedback link as well.
Yeah, the feedback link. Okay, so I've posted out the feedback link in the chat box. I'll post that again. So I want all of you to fill the form. Also, we will be passing out the certificates in the same form itself. So I request all of you to fill in the feedback, positive, negative, whatever it is, just fill it out.
And first and foremost, for you guys who participated in the Kahoot quiz, thank you so much. It would have been a great experience for you guys as well. You guys gained a lot of knowledge. And for the winners, all of you have done a fantastic job. Hats off to you guys. Just keep it going. Keep it going. That's all. Yeah, I think Manav is in the Discord channel. Guys, please join. Yeah.
So any of you guys have any questions to ask?
Please shoot. Any questions to us? Any questions to Hasnen? Please.
Yes.
There's dead silence here. Next session with Sir. Oh my God. So Hasnan, when do you think you want to take the next session again?
I guess we can. I also have some doubts regarding the state management part of Flutter. That's the very complex part of Flutter.
Okay.
I personally feel that if there is someone who can make videos on the state management, that would be very awesome. Because when I went through YouTube and all, I felt that state management and its examples are very less.
So what package do you use for state management?
I tried using the that business logic one, but then there were some problems because I couldn't find the example codes, like the implementation part of the thing.
Okay. I would recommend you to really go with the provider. It is pretty easy, simple, and works perfectly fine.
Yeah, sure. Like, are there any other alternatives to business logic and this provider?
Yeah, there is Mobex, there is Redux, Riverpod. There are so many state management widgets, but two are most of the popular of them, like the provider and the block business logic one.
So this Velocity X is was developed by this MTech Viral, right?
Yes. We have collaborated to write a documentation part. I was writing a documentation for that Velocity X, but really now I don't have a time that I cannot contribute more on that. But yeah, there's a future plan. I'll continue once all this hectic schedule of mine will get over.
So could you talk more about Velocity X, all the benefits, while we are waiting for the results?
Okay, so velocity X is all about, very first thing when you are when you want to manage your code properly, very nicely, right? The velocity X uses extensions, right? So you don't have to nest your code more, where your extensions will do all the things. So for example, if you want to center something, right? What we will do, we will wrap our widget to a center to make something center, right? For example, if you want to center a text, you will make center child of a text, right? Then it will become center. But on velocity X, you have to use extension, and there will be an extension called dot center. So text dot center will make your code center, right? So basically you have to write less line of code. So if you have less line of code, means there is less bugs, right? You can manage your code very easily. Another important thing is, if you want to have a web as well as mobile app to be built responsive on both the platform, then Velocity X take care of it, right? And many others widgets which are useful, like cards, images, those. So whatever the widgets provided by the Flutter, there are same widgets provided by the Velocity X well, but they have their own designs, right? And even it follows the material design guidelines as well. So yeah, you can just go ahead and check it out. Like I have built my portfolio, which is not live actually, using Velocity X. So actually it is running on the web as well. And yeah, I feel it is pretty good.
So, like, is it available for you? Like, is it fully developed, or it is being still?
Yeah. Yes, it
control?
is fully developed. You can check it out, the documentation website as well, and you can find the velocity. Okay, the document website is, I guess, velocityx.dev. That's the domain name for that. And you can check it out, the package on the pub.dev, VelocityX.
Okay, cool. So, Pranav, are you ready with the results?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll share.
Sure.
Yeah, present.
Is it visible?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Is
Now
it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Ronald, I'll start.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, so guys, the prizes for day 3 are as follows. Hasnen, you won. Great job, buddy. You basically won a 1Password account and $200 worth PUBG credits. All right. And Jayant, you came second. Great job again. You have won a 1Password account and $200 worth PUBG credits. Surya, you have won a 1Password account plus $100 worth PUBG credits. You can. Well, Pratyush, you won a 1Password account and $100 worth Bugsy credit. And Skanda, well, good job, buddy. You came fifth, and then you won a 1Password account. That's wrapping up day 3. We move on to the day 2 winner. Dimple, you came first. Well, good job. Actually, last time I come first, but then since you won, we're not repeating rewards. So Dimple, you came first. You won a 1Password account with $100 Bugsy credit. Then second came Arvind, and you won yourself a 1Password account and $100 worth PUBG credit. And Rohan, you came third. Good job, and you won a 1Password account. That wraps up day 2. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, done. Day 1. Well, Midhuna, you came first. I'm sorry, unfortunately you're not here right now, but you won a 1Password account. And Harshwant, you came second. You won a 1Password account as well. Now regarding the prizes, all of you will be given. Do not worry. And yes, we also had a special prize as I mentioned yesterday. Is basically won by __ Germany _. So you have won basically $100 worth Bugsy credits. That's mainly for storing us, and we are really thankful for you. Good job, thank you so much. Well, I guess that wraps up the winners as such. Again, guys, thank you so much for participating in the quizzes. It's been an experience for you and me, and then all of us actually, to be honest. And the certificates regarding the event will be given to you through your emails in a span of 1 to 2 weeks or so. So please stay tuned. If any kind of issues are there, please do hit me up. You have my contact number, or you can hit anybody up for the Hack Club. It will be great. Okay, so moving on. I think we in depth for Hasnan to spend so much time with us, to grace us with your presence. I know it's been a very tough weekend for you, work and stuff, but thank you so much for dedicating your time and effort with us here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
It's just been an honor. I think I speak for everyone here that we had such a pleasant time with you, and you taught us so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You guys as well. You've been a great audience. You've been very interactive. We have learned so much. You guys have learned so much. I think all in all, it just helps us and as people, grow so much. Again, please stay tuned to Hack Club. We have many events coming up. You guys, it's going to be a fun time. I can assure you.
Yeah. Just follow our Instagram page, and that is the best way to get all the updates regarding our event.
As Manav says, please follow our Instagram page, join our Discord, our YouTube channel as well. It's going to be a great help, trust me. Okay, so all right, I think we've come to the end.
Yes,
I'm joined
just a second, Pronel. On behalf of the entire Hack Club, I would also like to thank Pronel because he was on helped us out conducting like the event smoothly. Thank you so much, Pronel. Yeah, and thanks a lot to whoever was there in the organizing team and helped us in the back end part. All of them are not present here today, but thank you all. I don't take names specifically here right now, but because people are already have already started leaving. They're like, I don't want to know who is responsible for everything. But it was a lot of fun, guys. We had a lot of fun conducting the event, and we'll conduct the event. We'll conduct such events with Hasnan sir, and a lot of other people will keep coming and keep teaching us a lot of stuff. And
basically stay tuned, guys. Just stay tuned.
stay tuned and happy hacking, guys.
And so I think we've come to the end, yeah. So I'm Pranay Prabhakar, your host, signing off on behalf of HackClub VIT Chennai. FlutterUp.
Yes. Yeah, I would request all the organizers and Hasnan, you to stay back. Like Hasnan Tai, Hasnan, not Hasnan. Rest of you guys can leave.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, Surya. We'll hope to see you soon in another workshop as well.
Don't forget the YouTube channel.
Yes, Pranav. Thanks for being part of.
I don't think the other people are leaving. Will it be fine if I send another meet link because this is being recorded actually, and if we talk, that might get recorded as well and might go out on YouTube. If that's fine with if that's fine with
Yeah,
you,
that's the like better option, I think.
Hasnan?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Yes, yes, because this meet is getting recorded, and the person who started the recording has left already, so there's no way I can stop the recording, and I have to put the recording up like this only. I don't want some conversation to go out on YouTube. I'll send the link to Manav. I think he'll probably send it to you. Okay, guys, let's leave the meeting then.
Bruh.